I'm Sierra Wagner from This Is Home Today, and as you know, it is Black History Month. I'm about to sit down with a very familiar face to all of you Red Wolves fans to talk about what he's doing with his platform. Everyone, I'm here with Demario Davis, former Arkansas State Red Wolf. We're so excited about that. And current New Orleans Saint. How are you today?
I'm blessed. How you doing?
I'm good. So this community here in Jonesboro, all of Northeast Arkansas, love you. And I know they're so proud of you. And with it being Black History Month, we thought who better to speak with because you're such an advocate for change. Can you just tell us your story and why you feel so passionate to speak out against racial and social injustice?
I think a lot of it has to do with how I was raised and, the kind of the people that I idolized growing up. I think growing up to a parent in a single parent household, living in an environment that I lived in, a lower income community, I was just exposed to certain things. The school that I went to in the city I lived in, Mississippi, called Brandon. Our school was about, split down the middle for population and geographics and or demographics. And what I saw was the contrast of us even being in the same place in school, but when we went home, some kids went to the suburbs and some kids went to kind of underserved communities, and just seeing that contrast and dynamics. And I think I was exposed to kind of two different worlds. I did a lot of studies just in terms of history and, sports and race, following people like Muhammad Ali and Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and, people even like Tupac Shakur, but people who were entertainers and had these huge platforms and how they used them for good. And I think that fueled a lot of my thinking, that fueled a lot of my drive.
If there is an upcoming performer or an upcoming athlete or anybody that will have a platform soon or a fan base of any sort, what do you think that they should do to further make a difference?
It's so many issues that are going on that you can kind of get caught up in a little bit of everything, but kind of identify your passions. Secondly, become educated in those spaces and don't just move based on emotions, move based on the facts. And so the goal is actually harmony. And the only way you're going to find harmony is to deal with the facts, not deal with the emotions of both sides. If it's a narrative that's in line with the way that you think, continue to push that. But if it's one that needs changing, don't be afraid to step out and change. So I would just say, identify your passions, be educated, be aware of the resources, or aware of the situation and the facts of the situation. And then lastly, have communicating tools that you can help paint the picture for people.
Right, and I think one way that you're doing a great job of that is you were featured in the film Racially Charged. For our viewers who haven't watched, what do you touch on specifically and what is that film? Because that would be a great tool to use.
Yeah, that's one that's dealing with some of the injustices of a criminal justice system. And how oftentimes narratives are driven around individuals, whether that's in terms of race or in terms of something that has happened. Like you label somebody a criminal, it's much easier for you to just lock them up and throw away the key. But if you understand that this is a human being, that's a person that's connected to a family, that deserves a second chance, especially if their offense is nonviolent. When I was in school in Arkansas, I went to jail my first year, and had my coaches not bonded me out, there's no telling where I might be. And so my coaches bonded me out. My head coach gave me a second chance to play on the team. And a little bit later, I ended up giving my life to Christ, and my life transformed. And, here I am today. And so had I not had somebody to pour into me or invest in me, who knows, and that happens every day. So that's kind of what that film is about. And that's one of the ways where I think changing the narrative kind of helps people gain a different perspective.
I think it's incredible that you are continuing to go out and have these conversations, and you're talking to me right now. You didn't have to do that because you could have just thrown in the towel yourself because you've made it. you're hitting all the points. You've reached your dream and you're still continuing to educate. So thank you for doing that and for all that you've done and will continue to do. And lastly, this is something really important because you're a hometown guy for us here. This is the Red Wolves. We need you one last time. I need to go Red Wolves from you. We love you.
Let's go, Red Wolves.
Oh, well, Demario, thank you so much for all that you do and continue to do.
Thank you. Be blessed.
For This Is Home Today, I'm Sierra Wagner.